Hello and welcome to our GLAD Goal Reset Session workshop. I am so excited that you're here. This is a workshop I did inside my Amazing Transformers school community, and everyone left with such clarity and confidence. I wanted to share it with all of you. My name's JJ. In case you're not familiar with me, I'm a raw inspired mindset coach, and I'm the author of How I Went from Sad to Glad, my simple 4-step blueprint to transform your health, weight, and mindset to finally reach your goals with joy and ease. And one thing I wanted to do to help you is to help you with the G of GLAD, which is goals, learning, action, and discipline. So today we're going to start with goals. And I want to go ahead and get started. And to start things off, I would like you to do this. I would like you to think about what is one thing that you do that instantly lifts your mood and makes you feel like your best self. Example for me would be being on the beach. I love it. I love teaching. Anything that I can do when I'm creating makes me feel this way. Also, for some of you, it might be dancing, it might be eating fruit, it might be laughing with a friend, or whatever it is. Just let me know, and you can leave these. I have a worksheet for you that you can download that'll be in the comments. And if you feel comfortable with one or all of these answers, I would love for you to leave them for me in the comments. I love hearing your answers and being able to connect with you, and all of us to kind of lift each other up, and maybe get some ideas. So um, you can, just take a moment to do that. I'll give you a little bit, and then because this is a workshop, it's going on YouTube. You can always stop it and restart it. I'm going to share this with some of the members too. Thank you, Cheryl. One of our transformers, by the way, she suggested that I do this because she was one of the people, unfortunately, that couldn't make the last meeting. And this way, everybody will have access, because this Wednesday we're going into L, which is learning. So anyway, back to our goals. Okay, now that we've got kind of set the tone, have this great little vibe that I hope everyone has thinking about what you enjoy doing. Let's take a moment to reflect. What is one habit, thought, or choice that you've made recently that you are really proud of? Give something that you can give yourself credit for if you had to really think about it. I think, too often we think about what's going wrong or what we didn't do. Let's take a moment to think about what you did recently. I know for me, what I love to do as a self love kind of checklist, and I share this with my group and I've shared it here on YouTube, is a daily health checklist. And it includes things like hydration. It includes things like eating fruit and greens for lunch, and then a big salad for dinner, movement, getting a little bit of movement in, whatever you can do. And I also, what else is on there? Laughter. I never realized that there's a chemical in our brain called, I think it's oxytocin, and it actually really lifts us up. There's something that happens chemically when we laugh and enjoy ourselves. So I've added that in the checklist, and there's a bunch more, but I start with that because I think those things, if you start to do those things daily, that also lets you know you're doing something good for yourself. It's simple. It's not something overwhelming where you're saying, I have to lose 100 pounds. Maybe that could come out of it if you start, eating the fruit and greens and movement. It could end up being an outcome that you have, but I want us to focus on the process here. So maybe today you did get a little bit of sunlight. Maybe you, spent some time with your spouse and you had a great conversation and laughed together. Maybe you helped somebody at work earlier, and maybe it wasn't related to your health goals right now, but just anything that you did that you can give yourself credit for. And then I also want you to put down something that you did do for your health. And again, it can be as small as just, I drank some water this morning instead of having, soda or something that doesn't serve me. All right. So after you've written that down or left it in the comments, The next thing I want you to do here is I want you to visualize your healthiest self. Like if you said to me, we're talking next year, September 2nd, and you said, JJ, you're not going to believe this. I am just feeling better than I ever have ever since you did that goal setting workshop. And I really now know what my healthiest self looks like. And that's what this is all about, because I want you to really see that person, see what it is. You're here for a reason. You came here because we're doing a health goal setting workshop. But what is that transformation going to do for you? And so, what are you doing? What's a typical day look like? What foods are on your plate? How do you move throughout your day? Maybe what are you doing in this like life of yours, of your healthiest self? What do you see physically? What do you look like? Maybe write down a few words, image of yourself, or some phrases that might stand out. I'm going to give you a second to do that. And again, please, stop the recording and come back to it if you need, a few more minutes to do it. Thank you again for being here, by the way. I've left all the links there in the comments if you would like to join in the fun and come to the next workshop. I do these live for my amazing Transformers and my Gladiators VIP women. All right. So the next one is, what's one thing that future self that we just saw, that person that you just imagined a year from now, that healthiest self, what is one thing that your future self does? Like, what would be one thing, not everything that you might have written down? Maybe this person, works out and maybe they eat right and they, do meditation or whatever it is that you thought of this person's typical day. But what is one thing that your future self does that you can start doing right now, like even in a small way, one little notch towards reaching that goal? I want that to be your weekly goal this week. So, like I just mentioned, my daily health checklist. That's something I put together, and I just put a more detailed description of it together too, so that I can help you with things like, there's things on there, like I mentioned, sunlight, hydration. We have our fruit for lunch, which I always like to pair with some tender greens. And then I do a big salad for dinner. And I have all the ingredients written down for you so that you really don't have to overthink this. Everything's there for you. And what's one of those, if you're not sure what your goals would be, let's think of one of those that you can start with. Maybe try to do on Monday. Maybe you're going to start with the big salad, which is how I started my journey 6 years ago, or over 6 years. I guess we're close to 7 now. But I found a video that we were, found just, kind of like by mistake, where these people were eating fresh, whole, raw foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and sprouts. And I started having these big salads. And within 30 days, I had ended my chronic back pain that I had had for over 15 years. Within 6 months, I had lost 55 pounds and I've kept it off. And then also, one of the really crazy bonus things is I've never had seasonal allergies since then. I have energy. I've actually found my passion as being a health coach to kind of help gently guide you into this lifestyle and really make you feel better. And I just love working with people, and that's why I've created my communities. That's why I have all kinds of free information. I just put together a freebie bundle. It's called the Starter Stack Pack, because I'm really into just helping you get better habits and doing things that you don't have to feel hard on yourself or bad about things that you're not doing. I want you to focus on what you can do to make yourself healthier every day. So I want to know in the comments, or you can put it on on your worksheet. What is one thing that you're going to commit to that really puts you towards this vision? And so it says on the worksheet, my glad goal this week is, and it's just one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself. We're going to have joy, we're going to have fun, and we're going to just have progress. And if the last thing I have on here that you can think about and you can write down is just a kind reminder, a mantra, or a reason that you even started, or why you may have found me, that you're looking into a raw inspired lifestyle, and or what is it that you want to do? What is your goal? And you can share it, something that you do or say to yourself when you do get off track, or that you can say to yourself. And I have a few things that, really can be helpful to you. One thing that I always say, and it's kind of my little tagline, is you don't just need a meal plan, you also need a mind plan, because how we think, and just one switch in our, perspective, how we see ourselves, that we're already doing great things. We're just going to build on those things we're already doing. So remember, your self love, your daily health checklist, be kind to yourself, and leave me a comment with what your goal is, and or any of these things that I've asked. And this was our glad goal setting workshop. So thank you for being here. Well, I appreciate you. And again, I'm JJ, and I look forward to hopefully coaching you on a deeper level if you'd like to check out those links. And remember, you already have everything inside you to succeed. Thanks for joining me.